Well, thank you very much. I've learned to mind my own business and to paddle my own canoe and not to interfere in matters that are not of particular interest to the call of God upon my life, that become what you call side kicks and side attraction. That does not mean anything that touches the body of Christ does not affect me. But you cannot take the action of one person and blame it on the whole body. Whoever owns a jet and those who are involved, you know them by names, but don't say the body of Christ is responsible. You can even say the church of the person is not even involved because everyone will give account of himself to God. As an individual, if you misrepresent yourself, you cannot bring reproach to God. He is lifted far above every reproach. His name is lifted far above, and you can only disgrace yourself and people will know who you are. So don't take the action of one person as defiling the entire body. Yes, the body principle says if one part is sick, the whole part is sick. I do know that. But nitty-gritty, when the rubber hits the road, the reason everybody has a name is so that they know who has done good and who has committed a crime. For example, you can't, if they find them guilty and they say jail is coming, you can't send the body of Christ to jail. Is that individual? So let's distinguish what one person has done and how that can affect the entire body, called the Christian body in Nigeria. Even CAN does not cover all of the Christians in Nigeria. Because not everybody belongs to CAN. In law, you might think so, but it's free association. Do you understand me? There's freedom of association. You can choose to be part of CAN and you can choose not to be part of CAN and nobody will force you. Also, let us not make sweeping statements. The federal government has not denied that they knew about the money. It's a shame that in the age where with the push of a button you can transfer money abroad, we are carrying our own affairs like those who are carrying sleaze money about and money laundering about. But if they have reasons for what they did, then the question must be put directly to them so that they can address the nation on why this had to be. The man of God who is involved, or whose jet was involved, had said that he leased his jet to that company. And he didn't know how and who and what was behind the money. If that is true, let us not judge him harshly for what he knew nothing about. But if it's untrue, you can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth has a way of coming out. Love believes everything. If that's what he had said to me personally and to others, we should give him a chance to see whether there's vicarious liability. If the company that he leases a jet to is his own company, and he has foreknowledge of what they're taking the money for and why they carry the money to South Africa, then there's a big question that he only can answer. Long before this jet issue, some of us had even owned bigger aircrafts. Had been part of a business deal that owned a cargo business, and the name of the Boeing 707 was christened the latter rain, but we used it for business. Now, I know the cost of aviation, fuel, for example, and the cost of parking. So this jet thing is either your jet is a tool, like if Dangote buys a jet and is using it for business, it has a lot of places to go. And his jet can be factored into his business as a tool. Or if you have made stupid money from stupid places and sleaze money from government and you become corrupt and perverse, it can be a toy. It's no longer a tool. It's a status symbol. Or if you're a man of God and you're not careful, you don't even know how to run aviation business properly, and Either they gave it to you or you took what you cannot handle. It becomes a trap. So it's either a tool, a toy, or a trap. Having said all that, I would never ask for resignation if the matter has not been properly judged. Reason is simple. An accused person remains innocent until the contrary is proved. I'm a trained lawyer. Now, yes, in some crime, in the Western world, especially when anything embarrassing had come, the first thing they do is resign and show their integrity and incorruptibility to the society they serve. But in this part of the world, it is sit down and die in office and never resign. But for me to join and say resign or no resign, I have to examine the case. I'm a trained lawyer. Do you understand me? I have to hear both sides and hear the other side. And that is not, it can only make a call for resignation. It can't force him to resign. And there's a body that should look into that. And I think, if I have not read everything that Chris Okotie said, but if I will speak for him and speak for the other side without taking sides, it'll be like, he said, let the body of Christ look into this. Let this embarrassment backfire on the whole body. But there must be a body responsible for that, and that will do that, and not an individual calling for resignation. If you know me well, I don't do things for the sake of others are doing it. In 1993, when we acquired the Boeing 707, it was for business venture and purposes. And you can see 1993 to today. So I do not need a private jet. I don't consider it a need for me because it's cheaper to travel the way I travel, and I travel well. Do you understand me? It's cheaper to travel the way I travel to do the things I do than to tie humongous money down that's not achieving anything. I don't travel every day. I don't travel every second. These men can put their resources together and run a better airline in Nigeria for the benefit of people. I do not judge them. I do not condemn them. I've told you what it is. It's either a toy, a trap, or a tool. If that time comes that I think it's a tool, and I can afford it without necessarily making life difficult for others, why not? But I'm not thinking of it. It does not even cross my mind at all. How many times do I travel? Do I just want to park a jet somewhere in my name so that people will know I have a jet? Prosperity must be with purpose. There are too many things I can do with that money that will confer benefits to society. I don't travel every second. Even if I travel quarterly, for how long, to where? Even if I travel every month. Do you know how much aviation fuel costs? And do you know how much parking costs? And how about the pilots that will drive it? In society where this is done in such a way that you can even wet lease, or you can be part of a team that uses a jet, or a group that uses jet, or you can buy it like you buy your house, like you take a mortgage, and you pay back with negligible interest rate. Not in this part of the world that we think by parking jets we have arrived. Arrived from where? And where are you going to thereafter? Where are those who had it before you? So that's a question individuals have to answer. But I don't envy anyone. In the Western world, there are Christians who have two jets. It's part of the tools for the assignment they have. You look at your environment before you do the things you do, because charity must begin at home. If we are going to bring order to government and ask them not to stop all profligacy, men of God also must show leadership by example.
Koniwala